republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. All right. Meeting will come to order. We have proof of posting. Yes. Any members of the public? We do not have any. We will go to item number 1, which is to accept the Senate Bill 22 funds in the amount of $350,000 for the Sheriff's Department.
Make that motion. Second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Motion carried. Item number 2 is to accept Senate Bill 22 funds in the amount of $175,000 for the District Attorney's Office.
I'll make that motion. Second.
All in favor, aye. Any opposed? None. Motion carried. Item number 3, budget transfers and amendments.
I'll make a motion.
Yeah, I'll make a motion, we approve budget transfer.
I'll second.
All in favor, aye. Any opposed? None. Motion carried. Item number 4 is to approve and pay bills. We have 3 bills.
Motion to pay the bills.
Second.
All in favor, aye. Any opposed? None. Motion carried. Item number 5 is to approve to pay the SRM for concrete the day the concrete is poured.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor, aye. Any opposed? None. Motion carried. Item number 6, credit card. We have discussed before about having a credit card would be very beneficial in certain instances. Karen, would you like to say what you want your requirements to be?
It would be very helpful for us to have a credit card in the office so that if something comes up that we need it, take for instance the district judges, they needed that Adobe Acrobat, and I mean it was highly, we had to use somebody's credit card for that.
Adobe Acrobat, what?
That's a
Software.
PDF.
It's in the cloud.
It's a little guy on the computer.
And there's been different times that things come up that, you know, we need a credit card. If we don't have an account, it's a one-time purchase just for like this SRM concrete. It would be very helpful that we could be able to purchase that. And, you know, it wouldn't be for going on conferences and things like that. They can get paid ahead of time for those things. But it would just be, you know, during the day, somebody needs it, they come get it, they bring it back.
We don't need it often, but there are times when you really do, so.
And you would keep it in your office?
It would be in my office, yes. And do a check, we do a checkout, we have a Sam's card when there's jurors go to lunch and they come check
Like if we
them.
have to buy something online, you know, that we, you know,
Yes, that we don't have account for.
right.
Right, yes.
Most get a credit card.
Second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Motion carried. Item number 7, distribution of designated funds to water companies. Now, we discussed this before, numerous times. We had designated funds that would be used, that we would give to the water companies so that they could pay for getting a generator, because they all had to, almost all of them had to get.
They got mandated.
That's the DCEQ. Now, we have one, which is Kirby, which we have not dispersed the funds to. And that is our discussion for today. the city is inactive.
Correct.
And the water system, if that's inactive, then it would work under a water co-op, but we don't have an active water co-op for those funds to go to. And it's confusing sometimes because the PUC, Public Utility Commission, says that the city is active, but it's not active. We had a letter that was furnished to us by the district attorney at that time when Commissioner Massey needed to take over maintenance of the roads in Kirby. And he said that it was, that Kirby has no active de facto municipal government, and nothing has changed since then. So, that's
What year
where
was
we are.
that?
98.
98?
If you have a copy of the letter.
Okay.
Without the correct documentation, I don't feel that we can give that money to any entity that's not 100% on the documentation.
And we did at the time get the documentation for
Or we got
all
it
of the
from other
other
companies.
ones.
We did.
You know, people go online and get those, but
What we really need to do, and I've talked to many people, what we really need to do is we need to get a municipal attorney to determine how they are operating as a city and they're not an active city. So how can you operate, if you look at the address for the city of Kirkland, address on this thing here says, organization, city of Kirkland, big old box, 292. If you look at the water supply, the PO box is 344. If you go to their website. I mean, this is a big problem. And it needs to be corrected, and it's up to the county commissioners to do their part. I've been told about that to a lot of people.
Who was 292?
The water system, oh, the 292 is the city of Kirkland. Organization name, city of Kirkland. This is by the Texas Water Utility.
I understand that, but if it's not a city of Kirkland, who gets the mail?
Who what?
If it's not a city of Kirkland, they just have a post office box, who gets the mail? Don't have a mayor, no?
well, we probably need to put that on the agenda specifically to discuss.
Okay.
Since today, all we're having is the
We're just not gonna
distribution of the
yeah, that'd be
designated
great.
funds.
That'd be
Yes.
great.
I'll try to do a little more research to see.
I
exactly
got somebody that's got books of it.
Well, there you go.
I'll be glad to have
Item
them come
number
next
7,
time.
distribution of designated funds. Do you have a motion on this one?
To not disperse, to not disperse the
Yes.
funds. Yes, ma'am, I'll make that
Do we
motion.
have a second?
Second.
All right. All in favor, aye. Any opposed? None. Motion carries. Item number 8, amendment number 1 to the records management and preservation plan. All right, let me see where this is. We have an opportunity to review that, and I guess the opinion, G TA 0118, the county clerk records management and preservation fund may be used for employees' salaries so long as the employees perform records management and preservation functions. The clerk must determine what constitutes records management and preservation funds. All right, do we have a motion to supplement, to amend, or to approve amendment number 1 to the records management and preservation plan?
Judge, I spoke to Jeannie this morning about that. She was out Friday and we couldn't connect. She called me this morning. And in order to do that, I allowed an extra $1,000 in there to cover the deductions, you know, insurance and $2,400. So that's why it's 35 in that fund.
Okay, now the insurance can't be paid out of that fund.
That's what she just told me this morning.
And the reason for that is, just my explanation, the reason for that is our software system, that data only allows us to connect one insurance to a pay type, and we can't connect it to 2 pay types. So we can only connect the insurance to 1 pay type.
And for that amount of money, roughly $2,400 is going to amount to about $600. That's 25%. She says that would have to come out of the general salary. Is that right?
The insurance portion, I'm only speaking about the insurance portion,
Okay.
not the med, retirement, all that can come out of different line items.
Just
Only
the insurance.
So I'm just
Not,
clarifying when it was brought up about insurance to me, that we can only take that out of the general fund.
So are you saying that
If
you
the salary
could
is coming out of the general fund.
increase that?
If it was full salary coming out of that.
No, she's saying that the insurance portion of the $2,400 has to come out of the general fund.
It does.
And not that one,
Correct.
that fund.
And it would automatically be coming out of that anyway. So
Okay.
that's not an issue.
Okay, well, that was,
Yes.
I was afraid that might be an issue.
Yes.
So, okay, all right,
Because we provide that anyway.
okay.
All right, any questions? We've done this before. Paid, supplemented
Yeah.
before. It was a little different situation, but we have supplemented salaries in that office.
Is this gonna, my question, is this gonna change the starting salary going forward? Or is this just a
No,
one-time incident? I mean,
It's
does that make-
totally different.
Does that make sense?
It does. The question makes sense,
Yeah.
but no, it does not change.
Okay.
It's just, she's hiring it in at a certain amount, but she's supplementing it with this. 2 different things.
Yeah, she's still starting at the starting salary
Yes.
out of our general fund,
And so how much are you supplementing it?
$2,400.
And that's for,
And that will bring
is
her
that for a whole year, is that for 6 months?
to the end of this year for 6 months.
So 2,400 for the 6 months?
Yeah, it comes out to like $184 a pay period.
So it's like $400 over the starting pay, $400 a month over the starting pay?
Well, it was.
If you look at it by the month.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm figuring,
Yeah.
I'm not taking out taxes and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Hey Renee, just on paperwork, right now you have a clerk 1 open. Are you transferring someone to the clerk 1 so that then you have a 25-2 to start? Because right now the position that's open shows 30,000.
I don't want to bring in a new employee as a clerk 1. At a later point, I will move one up to a clerk 1.
Then we.
Okay, that's gonna be like the thing we have to do with the sheriff's department, where we have to carry money out there sitting for a position that's not filled.
Well, I mean, I can.
I mean, I'm just,
So
I can just bring her in as a clerk one and she'll be at the 30. I mean, I really, to me, a clerk one has some experience in the office. They are to be my chief deputy's backup. They're next in charge.
And I'm not telling you what to do, I'm just saying
Yeah.
for the paperwork, right now what's open is a clerk one, but if you,
And there's a question about if you transfer somebody within the office as opposed to transferring somebody in, but that's a different issue.
Yeah,
So,
that would, if I did that, that would bring a new employee in making more than a current employee has been sitting there.
How long has that employee
Well,
been?
is that, isn't that what we're doing here? Is it gonna make it bring more than, with supplementing this? Is it, I'm just asking, as if that's a legal question.
No,
Is she gonna be making more than the
she
existing?
will, but that other employee I will bring up to a clerk one. They'll actually be on the same level at some point in
How
time.
long has that other employee been employed? Not very long.
January.
Yeah, just not a long time.
Do you have the 2,400 in the budget?
Yes.
That's what I want to know.
We just need to, if y'all approve it, we'll transfer the money to salary. Money's in there.
We're just not guaranteed that next year that salary will go up. I mean, we'll.
They'll get some kind of raise, but they will not go over that dollar amount.
pay scale, just so y'all see. Yes, please.
They will not go over the $30,000 amount. They'll go up with their general, and their general fund, which means it'll drop in their supplement.
But you would tell this potential new employee that there's no guarantees.
Right,
There's no guarantee in raise, there's
Right.
no guarantee in nothing but the first 6 months.
mhm,
So they would be made aware of that.
yes.
Kind of like saying, kind of like going to, you know, if it ever quits, you quit.
Yeah, kind of like it's between there.
This is brand new current, I mean.
I printed it.
Right off the press. I can write the date on it.
It's already at the bottom, it's already at the bottom, the date's already at the bottom.
Look at that.
Look at you, kid.
He's gonna write it on there anyway.
Right on.
Any more discussion? Not, is there a motion?
Make a motion.
Awesome.
All in favor, aye. Carried. Any opposed, I should say. Motion carried. Item number 9, discuss the purchase of console desk through the HVAC buy board for dispatch in the amount of $51,535.33.
Okay, I have something to say on that.
All right.
Leonard is not here and asked me to say he will not be able to make a meeting, pass this along to the court, please. The Watson consoles are specifically designed for a dispatch center and will exceed the current conditions of desk our dispatch currently use, which do not have adequate space and are not user-friendly. I, Leonard, recommend the purchase of the Watson consoles, and they have an estimated delivery date of July 1st, which is also the current date established with Hot Call to move the 911 equipment as well. And again, at that price, going back to our budget on that, we had put 40,000 in that budget for this move from the start. This $51,000, Hot Call will reimburse us 20 of that, so it brings us in about 9,000
Less than
less
40.
than what we had budgeted for, so.
And it's not just a desk. The desk also is to accommodate, how many monitors are there gonna be? Like
8.
8 monitors. And then have the options of, you know, raising and lowering and have all the side desk and what else can you say about it?
Yeah, they're ergonomically
Yeah, that's the up and down.
up and down, and
For people like us, up and down.
And they are on the HGAC buy.
they're already on HGAC, which Karen loves.
And has all of the electrical.
And the
stuff
other
already
two quotes that we got, which we kind of didn't even consider because they were substantially, I know one of them was over 70,000. So not only is this a better quote, but they are on HGAC, which means we don't have to go out for bid, but we kind of went out for bid anyway, and this was the lesser of the three. And Leonard feels that they're sufficient, so.
Do you have a 1295?
I don't need a $12.95.
He's just on it, though, that's for sure we're good. Any questions?
I make a motion that we approve the purchase of the console desk through HGAC to buy the Watson brand console.
I'll second.
All in favor, aye? Any opposed? None, motion carried. Item number 10 is to discuss the tax sale funds held by the district clerk. Those funds are supposed to be claimed within 2 years, and if not, they're supposed to be dispersed to the taxing entities. I did talk to, you've got a copy of those, of the ones that qualify for the funds being dispersed. And she has been working with our tax attorney, and they anticipate having some of those orders ready this week to disperse. And then there'll be some more. The orders also will have on there how they're dispersed through the different taxing entities. And you have a whole packet of them there.
Okay,
So some will be ready this week.
okay, is this all one packet or is this two separate? I thought they were-
No, it's all one packet.
Oh, okay.
And you'll see that there are
So we'll go back, it's 15, they're all.
Oh, three, the oldest one.
Yeah. All three.
There's no way.
Hey,
It's just, this is something that fell through the cracks.
but these are just showing this, I'm taking this as a total deposit before monies were paid to the taxing entities that got that minimum amount? Is that what these deposits are?
Oh, okay.
Okay, if you look at this, it looks to me like the one on the first one that was paid to the clerk was $2,125, and then these costs were paid out of that. Well, the district clerk is in, they're having court this morning, so she's up there. And so I can't really pay you. She just brought these down, left them for us. But we can put these on the next agenda to talk about again. Give you time to review them. All right, look, there's one that has Lisa's tax collector. So they collected this 38,000, paid out 5,100 and something to the tax collector. And then this is the balance. Do you know any more about those?
Probably all I could tell you without looking at that is that I do write district clerk 2 checks, one for court costs and one for excess proceeds. The monies that go to pay the taxes, we post in the office and write a check to ourselves. So the monies that you're looking at should just be excess proceeds and or the court costs.
So we did have one that was paid to the tax collector.
Here's one, I hear tax off.
2020.
From the district clerk,
Some of it's straight pass through. You know, the credit. Some of there's nothing taken out.
We should, let's have it on the next agenda, because we should have this week some,
I don't think this will be explained a little more to us.
we should get some orders this week. They told her this week,
That makes
and then
sense.
we'll be able to look at those items.
I'd like to have a little good explanation of what we're looking at.
Well, Dan, you got it right there.
Make a motion on table
I got it on.
number 10.
All in favor, aye? Motion carried. Item number 11 is solar eclipse. Anything on that? Moving right along?
Nothing new, just
How many people are we expecting? Do you not, y'all have any, y'all got any figures?
everybody's telling us they at least expect double to triple in population. But based off of just the hotels and stuff, like we said last commissioners meeting, just with the hotels and RVs, could double the Fairfield's population alone. So,
Some places are saying 100,000, yes.
At the last meeting, y'all said y'all were gonna decide whether the county would close or not, or y'all still
We have another
considering.
meeting for the meeting.
We're gonna do what?
Whether the county would be closed that day.
Oh.
So we do
Let's
have
put that
another
on the
meeting.
next agenda, you said.
I think we can run along. That's my opinion.
Has Fairfield closed yet, you sure? or
Fairfield's not gonna make that decision until the week of. They're
Until
gonna check, yeah, I think they're gonna roll with how the weather looks, because the weather can change everything. You know, if it's cloudy and this,
It's gonna be off or not.
yeah, it's pretty much gonna be a wash, because you're not gonna see anything, it's gonna be cloudy. So,
I had a request from one of those people in my precinct, that they live on a county road and it's dead end, it has a dead end. It goes several miles, there's oil field trucks, a lot of stuff's going in. They wanted to know if they could close off that road. And I just don't think we should be doing that, because you gotta have ambulance services, you gotta have sheriff deputies may have to get down there, emergency vehicles. I just don't think we can do that. I mean, I told them I just checked with y'all, but I don't see we can do that.
Because we had a copy of the minutes in our bill, or either I have.
That was to
That's
show the
the water system.
water system.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I just said, no, not gonna do that. I mean,
Then you can read.
Does anyone else live down here?
yes, they already talked to all the neighbors and all that, but you still, something happens, emergency happens.
And the people,
Public road.
Man,
the people agreed to close it?
just for that day.
Oh, for that day?
Yeah.
With anticipation.
Yeah, we're just trying to keep that on. But here's the deal. There was something that came, and this is, I'm just thinking this is what happened. There was something that came out on the paper somewhere, the roads that were gonna be the most popular. And it was Highway, Farm Road 171. So when they saw 171, they thought that was their road. It was gonna be, so I think maybe there was some misunderstanding there. So they just didn't want all these people coming down the road.
I thought you meant totally closed, I didn't know you meant just for that day.
No, they just closed it during that time. I don't
We
think
saw that too.
I know Ennis is expecting a 500% increase in population. That's crazy. But, you know, it's all moving here, you know, they all started there, just like east and west. Well, west, they'll stay west. Well, like the east, they're starting to sell out now because they're gonna all be coming over here because we're in the center of that thing.
Not
So,
the very center, but we're within the
yeah.
We're on the south
Oh,
edge.
the valley.
happy
I'll
days.
see it just fine from wherever I'm at.
Yes, we'll be sitting in the
I want
yard.
to see it to believe it.
If we- All right. Any